Last night, this weekend, this is harder recruiting right now. And last week, or last night, we had a lot of our top recruits, great recruiting class we had on campus. And part how we finish is watching the championship game. Our Big Ten champion, we saw a team that we beat out here play our champion, a tough game. So congratulations should go out to Ohio State for representing the Big Ten Conference in the college playoff, which I'm all for, and for even adding some teams, but that's a different day to talk about that. So we're not in that game, and that's the goal. And what's the goal? It's become Big Ten champ someday. Our program will eventually get there. In the meantime, though, we're going to keep building. It is a process that we're going through right now. A part of that process was to play better football this 2019 season. I think we'll all say that we made progress with that. We're not going to apologize for having 6 wins, or we're not going to apologize for being 2-4 and making a run. We're going to be excited about where we are right now, of going to a bowl game. We're excited about the Redbox Bowl. We have, quite a few players from California. I was talking to Nate Hobbs in the back, Alex Palczewski. Neither guy's been to California, San Francisco. We have a lot of that on our football team. So this is going to be a great experience for our program. The guys have worked hard. We've gone through an awful lot this year. So to reward those 17, 18 seniors that have meant so much to our program, I'm excited for them. You guys have watched us put our program together, our team together. And a few years ago, we started a lot of freshmen. Those guys will be seniors next year. So you can see why we're excited about next year's ball club. They kind of deserve it as much as anything. The benefits of a bowl game, we get a chance to practice some more. So our schedule this past week, it was all about recruiting, and for athletes to be student and get good grades like they normally do, but to help them do that. This week we'll start prepping for Cal with a little bit of work, but we'll also be hitting the road hard, of course, recruiting. I'm getting ready, as I leave here, I'm getting on a plane and taking off to do the same thing. The response we've gotten has changed. Everybody realizes what we've done. So excited about that, excited about playing a good Cal team. Don't know an awful lot about them. It's not like we watch, we're a long ways away, but they're a bowl team with a 7-5 record. And I know it's a tough conference, so that'll be a good challenge, a good challenge for us. But again, pumped up, excited about where we are. We eventually will start practicing. We have a plan that we're putting into place about when we'll start practicing. And don't have any injury updates right now. Guys are getting better, healing up. And hopefully we'll have as many guys as possible ready to go as we move out west. We'll do some practices here, of course, preparing for them. And we'll also get out there and also kind of go through a typical game week for us to say. Take your question.
Lovie, obviously you knew you were going to a bowl game, but what was it like seeing the players' reaction to the actual destination?
This football team, we've had a lot of highs that I'm going to remember a long period of time. So many, of course, big wins that we've enjoyed together. But the anticipation was there. We had all the guys in our team room. And, word starts getting out about where we might go. But, you may think you know what's in that Christmas gift, but you can't wait for Christmas to open it. And that's what we had. A lot of excitement. And, again, it's something we'll remember.
Coach, you see me get a little emotional talking about going through this process and going to a bowl game. Can you just explain what all this means to you to finally see it come to fruition?
Well, it's rewarding. But first off, the faith. I have faith in what we're doing. Have faith in our players, the process, coaches, everything that we have in place. there's been, steps along the way, things that we had to get accomplished. It was important for us to get that new Smith Center. It was important for us to put a better product on the football field, and for people to get on board before they had, before they saw that progress, means an awful lot. As I talk back to our seniors, it's an excellent senior group that we have that stuck around and been planning their Christmas without a bowl game for a lot of years. So, yeah, this is an emotional time for us, and one that they deserve.
What do you remember about your last college bowl game?
Last college, when you start looking up a little bit, and I'm getting older, I do remember it. What I remember, I assume you probably looked it up, Bob, and no, I figured that would be the case. But I remember there was a good quarterback on the other side. You probably know that. That's a Hall of Famer. End up competing against him quite a few more years. My last game was as a secondary coach at Ohio State. We played Tennessee in the Citrus Bowl. Remember it well. Coach Miles Smith on our staff right now, he remembers it, of having Christmas away from home a little bit. But it's always good when you get a chance to go to a bowl game. It comes back to you quickly, the amount of fun a team can have. And it's just not about that game. It's what all has happened along the way to get there.
You hear people say there's too many bowl games. I assume you're not in that category. I would never say that. Would you ever say that?
No, I don't think. I think people love football, and as much football as they can see, they would like to have. NFL's think about adding another game, so I don't think you can ever get too much football. And really, bowl-wise, to be truthful, I had a chance. We were really hitting recruiting hard right now. I had a chance. Of course, I know that where Ohio State is going and who they're playing, and I got to see one other Big Ten team on where they're going, just about the University of Illinois right now. But as many people as that qualify for a bowl, they're not handing bowls out. You have to qualify, and so that's all good.
Josh was talking about keeping the faith, and what did that mean to you to know that you had that behind you the entire time, even when you were 2-4?
Well, I didn't need to go through this year to know that. That's how Josh has been up from the start. Josh mentioned about he and I communicate. I try to keep him as informed as I can about everything that we're doing, transparency in our program for him to know exactly what's going on. But as you go through, you just look at a football season, a football game. The question was asked about when we were 2-4, did you lose faith? So when you're in a football game and you get behind, do you lose faith? No, not if you believe in what we're doing. I mean, they crown the champion at the end of the game, at the end of the season. So what we kept doing is just kept fighting. I know I'm supposed to be even keel and never show emotion and all that, but every time we lose, really take it hard. And, of course, when you win, you enjoy those moments. It's kind of simple as that. So during that time when we weren't playing our best football, we were concentrating more on getting it right. But I saw signs throughout the year, early. I mean, I'm going to go back to Nebraska. We had them on the ropes here. So I saw signs then. Of course, the Michigan loss. So there were some losses that we had, but I saw it's growing. And eventually it all came together.
There's all sorts of paths coaches take to bowl games. Is it more meaningful for you to watch this journey kind of go from where it was when those freshmen or those juniors were freshmen to where you're at now? Does that make it sweeter?
Well, I can't say. I mean, the first year we got here, I wish, Josh wished we were a bowl team that first year, and to cut out a whole lot of the pain we went through. But no, seriously, I think you do appreciate it more, knowing about the struggle and how much we put into it. A lot of people have contributed to get to this point. Go back to the seniors. Guys like Dele Harding. Guys had voted all Big Ten linebacker. You know what all he's gone through, and just not losing the faith. Just so many stories like that makes it all worthwhile.
This is also coaching transition period time, and you do have 2 assistants that are have their contracts up at the end of next month. All things being equal, would you like to bring all 10 back and have the same staff for 2020?
Absolutely. And, I can't tell you how many years I have on my contract, That's not what we do. We don't. How many? I think we all kind of live in the moment. Yeah, love every coach we have on our staff. As a general rule, this time of the year, if there's a coach that I have on my staff that can advance his career, I'm helping him do that. But yeah, love everybody that we have, and one of the main reasons why we're going bowling too is based on that coaching staff that we have. They did an outstanding job.
You mentioned recruiting. What are these 2 weeks like for you guys with the early signing period here? Right
Well,
after the-
it's nonstop. We had an excellent week last week. We hit the pavement running right away. I talked about the recruiting weekend that we just finished up, this afternoon. A lot of great prospects on campus that are buying into what we're telling them, the vision we have for our program. This is the first time we've gone through a recruiting weekend in the new Smith Center. Does it make a difference? Warren, it makes a big difference. Big difference. So that's a whole lot of fun to get people here and just show them exactly what we have to offer. Champaign, University of Illinois, and of course our football program as a whole.
Now, with the bowl bid, I mean, is that resonating even more that you have?
Absolutely. Everything you would expect is exactly how it is right now. Are people listening to us more? Yes. Do people know what we did this year? They don't remember the last couple of games. We're trying not to also, for the record. What they remember is what we did. And football people know how hard it is for a program, like ours to become a player. I continue to talk about being relevant again in college football. That's where we're heading. Best football team that we've had, I feel like, in a long time, is one that we have coming up next year. And in order to get that, that ball rolling a little bit with momentum, we got to finish up strong. Big difference between, of course, 6 and 7 and 7 and 6 for us. Getting that 7 win is pretty important.
Coach, you mentioned Miles earlier. What's it just like going to be like going through this with him, knowing everything that's happened the last couple of seasons? What does it mean to you to just go through this with him and have him on the staff and be a part of this?
Well, there's a lot of people, before I get to Miles, that, Gilbert and I, how many years we've been together? We've known each other. Andrew Hayes Stoker, how many we've been together? And of course, Coach Miles. We've been together a few years too. Some special people, of course, to go through that. We've gone through it. We've never left faith or never lost the faith. Kept fighting. So special time for a lot of us going through. And I'm going to go back to those seniors. The senior class. I mean, we didn't actually recruit them here, but they bought in, stayed. It's a coaching change. A lot of time guys choose to go elsewhere. These guys stuck with it. So that's why it's going to be so much fun as we get a chance to play Cal.
Lovie, piggybacking back on the coaching, some of the coaching changes you made in the last couple of years, in addition to bringing other players in, does all that kind of mesh in together as to create this group that you have this year?
I think it's all a part of the process. When you come in together, you have to work together. When you come together as a new staff, and you haven't worked together as a group, sometimes a change is necessary, and that happens. Just normal progression, that's what happened, and that's how our staff has played out. A lot of guys that aren't here anymore have helped us, of course, get to this point and have moved on, but that's just a part of life. There is change that happens sometime. I'm just excited about the guys that stayed, and we have some guys that have been here, like Coach Lee. Coach Stoker has been here the entire time, and that's why it's only right for them to, of course, join this time now.
Coach Lee, he's got 2 specialists that are Big Ten specialists of the year now. One played in the NFL today. What's he meant to you in this program? How the special teams?
He's just an outstanding coach, great man. Know what you're going to get each day. We talk about it's more than football. We build a man, and then of course we work on the player after that. That's what Coach League's all about. He has an expertise too. He knows what he's doing, and how you judge that, you judge your season kind of based on what's your final record. Where are you going? Are you going bowling? As a coach, how are your guys playing? Simple as that. I, as a head football coach, try to give our position coaches everything that they need, player-wise and everything else, then you start looking, how are your guys playing? That kind of tells you what kind of football coach you are. And, of course, Coach Ligg it speaks for itself.
Coach, you think we'll be back here a year from now doing this again?
Do you think I'll be back from here?
Doing this same thing?
Well, I hope not. And why I say that is that, the Big Ten championship game, Josh, I assumed we leave right away. Maybe we'll get back here on time. But that's where we would like to be. No, seriously, yes. We want to be a bowl team every year and have our program to the point where it's more than that. Again, I'm going to hit, I understand there's 6 wins, and this isn't where we want to be every year. But in 2019, this is exactly where we want to be. And we're pumped up about that. In the years to come, our goal is to eventually be Big Ten champs. And from there, everything's in front of us.
How did you enjoy being the defensive coordinator this year? Is it something you'd like to continue doing?
Something I'd like to continue to do. That's like I got to ask somebody to do it a little bit. No, I've liked it. Every year I've coached, though, I've liked it, and I've been involved. I was involved a little bit more, a lot more this year. Yes, don't plan on making any changes at all. As I move more hands-on into this role, you become a head coach. There's a reason why you become a head coach. You have an expertise, should have an expertise on one side of the ball. And in Coach Harbaugh's case, special team. So why quit doing it? Why quit doing it? So, yes, I intend on continuing to do that, and can't wait for this last game before we move into next year.